Today we're adding the final stuff to my Palmetto Armory Dagger to make this a budget Gucci Glock, and that's coming up next here on Jesse Outdoors. Welcome back everybody, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, hit that notification bell, leave a comment down below if you like videos like this. So today we're going to put the final pieces together on my Palmetto Armory Dagger. As you guys know, this started off as a regular dagger when I purchased it, and then I bought the SW3 slide, and there's a couple other things I'm going to add to this. My goal when I first got a PSA dagger was I wanted to make a budget Gucci Glock with it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you over to the table, show you guys the final pieces on it, and then we'll see what else I do from there. Now we're at the table, I'm going to show you what I'm going to be doing to this. One thing's brand new, and 3 other things are used that I had on a different gun that we're going to put into this. Now, the first new thing we got here is a Ghost Ink X mag release. If you guys know, followed the channel and watched my review video of the dagger, I said this one was very stiff and it had no texture on it. We're going to try to fix that with this one right here. Then the next stuff I got here, if you guys follow my channel, I used to have a Glock 17 Gen 4. I had these things installed on that, but the thing was when I sold it, the guy didn't want none of that, so I put it back to stock. The first thing we got here is an Overwatch Precision Polydat trigger, and you can see this thing is nice, shiny, and polished. And to go with that, we got a 3.5 pound Ghost connector here we're going to install. And this one, even though I'm left-handed, I'm still going to put it on here and use it. This is a Victor's Tactical Extended Slide release, and I'm going to install all this. Now, unfortunately, YouTube does not agree with all this, so you guys will not be seeing me install this. But YouTube, disclaimer, these are all factory replacement parts. This gun is a semi-auto. It's still going to be a semi-auto after I do all this. Factory replacement parts. So I'm going to get this all changed out, and then I'll be back with you guys. Alright guys, I'm cutting in from the middle of doing this because I took the trigger assembly out of here, the trigger block, and that is a wolf's head on that. And this connector looks awful shiny. Then we got some information right there from Lone Wolf. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get on the internet here real quick, check out and see what this is here. Because I'm pretty sure this was not factory from Palmetto State Armory. As you guys know, I did buy this dagger used, like I said. The guy I bought it from said he bought it from somebody. The guy I bought it from really didn't seem like he knew much about guns. So I'm betting the first person put this on here. So I'm going to do some research real quick and figure out what this is. Because if this is all Lone Wolf, I'm probably going to let this be and I'm not going to put that Ghost connector in here. So let me do some research. So I hopped on PSA's website here, and this is definitely not the PSA one, which I kind of figured because it's a Lone Wolf one. What this is a universal one from Lone Wolf, and this is a Lone Wolf 3.5 pound connector. So I am not going to use my Ghost one here. I'm going to leave this to the side for something different, and maybe I'll get another frame or something I want to change that out on. Hint, hint, I got one coming. And I'm just going to leave this all Lone Wolf on here. So I'm just going to install everything else on it. And then we already did a trigger pull on this, and we got 5.5 pounds if you saw my video on this. So we already know what this did. So we'll compare it after I change everything out. So I'll get back when I'm all done. Alright, it's coming back together, but you can see right here, this extended mag release don't sit in there right. I don't like that, so I'm going to put the factory one back in that real quick. Now that we got it finished here, let's take a look at the magazine release here. You can see now it's got a lot of nice texture on it, and it extends back a little bit further. For you right-handed people, that's going to work out nice for you. Now that spring is still pretty stiff in there. So the next time I order something from somebody that's got a stock Glock spring for the magazine release, I'm going to order one because I still don't like that much. But let's put a magazine in here real quick and try it out right-handed. You can see it drops out just fine. That's real nice. Now, the issue I'm going to have being left-handed is it still feels good and everything, but I got to break my grip and turn the gun like this to still hit it, and it don't help with that stiff spring in there for me to hit it with my trigger finger. That's why I want to get a different spring for it. Now, let's go ahead and look at the trigger. Now, let's check this trigger out on here. So we're going to pull back here. Right there's the wall. Little bit of creep and then a snap. Now, on my Glock 17 that I had this in before, the reset was pretty good on it. Let's check it out again. right there. Man, I love that about this trigger. And then boom, let's try that again. Reset. Right there. It had a nice short reset, and I always like that about this trigger on here. That's going to be a real nice setup. We'll do one more pull through. Go through all the slack right there. There's the wall. Little bit of creep and then snap. And that reset is awesome. Let's grab the trigger pull gauge and check what the weight is on it. Now we got my Wheeler trigger pull gauge out here, and we're going to check and see what this does. Now the last video this gun was in was the Dagger versus the Glock video, and we got 5.5 pounds. I thought that was a factory trigger setup in this because I've never had this gun apart until now. Now we know there's a Lone Wolf block and connector in the back of this, so that's one reason why the trigger pull was good on that. Now it should be better with the Overwatch precision on it. Let's check it out here and see exactly where we're at on this. Alright, right there we got just under 4 pounds. You can see right there. Try it again. Once again, we got about 3 1/4, or 3 3/4, sorry. And we'll do this one more time here. Alright, and then that time we've got a little bit over 3 1/2 on that. That is an absolutely great trigger pull that we got on this now. I cannot wait to shoot it. Let's go back up to the desk and I'll tell you some more about this. Alright, so here it is, my completed budget Gucci Glock. I think it came out good. I've always wanted to do something like this, but could never afford to do it on a regular Glock. I'm glad PSA came out with a Dagger to do this. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to grab a price list and tell you what the cost of all this was. Let me go ahead and grab that and I'll be right back. So now let's go over what the total cost of this was. And this is the second week of July 2023, and all these were pulled off the internet. So let's go ahead and get started. The frame, complete frame and everything from PSA right now, 50 beans. The slide from PSA, just like mine, except for mine's got the rear sight in front of the dot. This one has it behind the dot. 200 beans on that. Now, my compensator is a Faxon. That one was 85 beans. I'd say get a good compensator if you're going to do something like this. I did go on to eBay and I found some from 25 to 40 beans, but I'd go with a good one on that. But we're going to stick with the 85 beans because that's what I got on there. Now, on the light, that was 40 beans. And then the red dot, go on to Amazon right now. You can get a decent red dot for around 100 beans. Magazine release was 15 beans. The Overwatch Poly That trigger, 60 beans. That is the best deal I could find right now on a trigger like that works that great. And then if you want to get like a ghost connector to go on that, that one would be 13 beans for a grand total of 563 beans. Now here we're going to do a little comparison. 563 beans for something that looks like this. That don't come around very often that you can do something for that price. Now the comparison. Stock Glock Gen 5 19, which I got. I paid 150 beans for mine. Online I've seen them around 540 at the lowest. Not too bad at all. So for, let's see here, basically 13 beans more, you could have something that looks like that. Now if you just wanted to get a Glock MOS system so you could put a red dot on it, those are 650 beans. So 650 beans, and you don't get plates, you don't get an optic, nothing, just an optics ready gun, compared to 563 beans for a decked out gun. That's not a bad deal at all. So now that's enough talking about it. Let's get out and shoot it. Now we're outside. The first thing I gotta tell you is I gotta be honest with you guys. I had to put the factory trigger shoe and trigger bar back in this. I had a mishap with the Overwatch Precision one. You guys know that I always try to be honest with you. So I had to take the Overwatch one out, put the factory one back in. Now what happened was the transfer bar on that, the trigger bar, was rubbing against the frame wrong, and it was holding it open and making it shoot 2 or 3 shots. That is totally unsafe, and we can't have that. So I immediately took this gun back in after I had those issues I just showed you, and put the stock trigger back in it. Now I did come out here and I ran 1 meg through it yesterday. I did all that yesterday. Today's a different day. And today, now what we're going to do is I'm going to put probably 4 megs through this now to test it out and see how it is for you guys to check it out. So let's get started. Alright, first magazine we're going to put through this gun. We're out here at about 10-12 yards like I normally am. I'm going to do something different here, and I'm going to go for the big silhouette by the Coyote to start off with. Make sure my dot's good, and it is. Alright, let's start. Ooh, trying for a small plate. There we go, got the small plate on the last one. Really love how this gun shoots. Let's try another magazine out. Alright, as you can see, I got my light on here too. I'm also testing this out while I'm doing this video for a future video. So far, that 1 magazine, it seems like it's still on. We'll find out when I recap the video if it cut off at all. I want to go for that small plate again and concentrate on that. Got to settle that dot down a little bit more here. As we all know, this is the gun I built to learn how to do red dot. Let's try the bowling pin. Got the bowling pin? Go. Okay, now I'm shooting too fast. Ah, popped them once and that was it. This is a lot of fun. I'm going to do 1 more magazine. Alright, this magazine here, I'm going to go left to right and just try to do some double taps. They're going to be really controlled though, because I got to get used to this red dot on. If I take my time with the red dot, I do pretty good. I'm not used to rushing it yet. Plate. Alright. Try to plate again. Nice. Oh, missed it on the last shot. I hate it when I do that. So what's my final thoughts here on my budget Gucci Glock here from Palmetto State Armory? I love this dagger. This thing is a lot of fun. Like I said, we went over the price list. Actually, now that I took that Overwatch trigger out, you take 60 bucks off of that. You end up with 503 beans for what I got here. Is there anything else that I would add to this? I think the only thing I would add is if I could find a flare magwell, I might add that. But besides that, I'd say I'm done with this gun. This is my new range toy. As you guys know, I've done a lot of dagger videos here lately, and I really love these things. And here's the kicker, you're going to see more of these because I ordered a 17 round frame, so there'll be videos coming up on that as soon as I get my hands on that. So as always, don't forget to check the links out down below. Down there I have links to Axle hearing protection. I'm loving these X cores, they're real nice. Gators eyewear and a bunch of other companies I like dealing with. Some of them got discount codes to save you guys money. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Leave a comment down below. We are One Nation Under God, and I'll see you all on the next one.